Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and welcome to the Head of Sinbad. Yes, we are back on the road finally, enjoying our first full camping season as full-time RVers. We'll bring you along through this very special section of the San Rafael Swell on this episode of Grand Adventure, so stay tuned. This episode of Grand Adventure is sponsored by The Dirt. Find the campsite that's right for you from over 44,000 listings, either on the web or in their #1 ranked mobile app. Get extra features and functionality with an annual membership to The Dirt Pro. So we're also very excited to be out here camping once again with our friends Ed and Ann from the YouTube channel Homie at Large, who we first introduced to you last spring when we were down in Sedona, Arizona. If you haven't yet seen that episode, I'll put a link right here on the screen, so you can go back and check it out. But they are here with their friend Jackie, so we've got 3 rigs in total, and we are in a beautiful spot, about 6,200 feet of elevation, and ironically enough, right off I-70. Ed and Ann got here a couple of days before we did, scouted out the location, so it was super easy for us. All we had to do was show up. So thank you very much, guys. We really sincerely appreciate you finding this terrific boondocking spot for us. Now, even though I-70 is only about a half mile over there, I'm shocked to report that I'm really not hearing any highway noise at all. This is a perfect location for exploring all the wonderful things to see around the Head of Sinbad. Although I've got to tell you, this is a very remote area. If you decide to head out here, the nearest supermarket is about an 85-mile drive one way. The nearest gas station is about 30 miles one way. So you got to come here fully prepared to spend the week with all the supplies that you're going to need. Let me show you around camp a little bit first before we head out and do a little exploring.
big old pot of gold there?
Yeah.
Nice.
You can see the pot of gold from here.
You leprechaun, you.
How to get up on the trailer.
So while there's nothing in the way of civilization around here, there are plenty of natural sights to see that are absolutely stunningly beautiful. Native American pictograph and petroglyph panels, some wonderful hiking, and even some man-made structures from the not so distant past that have some historical significance. We're going to check out all, so come along and explore with us. The central San Rafael Swell is known locally as Sinbad Country, surrounding a geological feature known as the Head of Sinbad. Rich in history, from both ancient people and more recent celebrities, including Butch Cassidy and his Wild Bunch gang, the landscape is dotted with walls and pinnacles of Wingate sandstone, which, unlike other rock in the area, is yellow in color due to the oil and petroleum, which rises up from below to reduce the iron content in the rock, turning it from red to yellow. Many areas surrounding I-70 are teeming with prime scenic dispersed camping locations. However, those camping in RVs should know that many spots are accessible only by crossing beneath I-70 via these runoff tunnels that are too low to be negotiated by most RVs. Our first stop today is Locomotive Point, home to two pictograph panels in separate coves along the south-facing cliff wall. These paintings were likely created by artists from the Barrier Canyon Indians, who dated from the mid-Archaic period, from roughly 4000 BC to 2000 BC. Half of this easternmost of the two panels has already fallen from the cliff face. Painted on the rock using natural pigments, Barrier Canyon-style rock art is found on the canyon walls of the northern Colorado Plateau, in Utah, western Colorado, and northern Arizona. The stories these artists were trying to tell are open to speculative interpretation. Just west of the two Locomotive Point rock art panels, we travel to our next point of interest, Dutchman Arch, a small yet aesthetic arch eroded from a fin of the Wingate sandstone. It has a span of around 31 feet. The Swayze family arrived in the swell and raised livestock and wrangled horses here in the late 1800s. They were some of the first non-native settlers in this harsh land. Joe Swayze built this cabin in 1921 at the foot of Broken Cross Tower from Douglas fir logs harvested from the bottom of nearby Eagle Canyon. It's of the typical 12 by 12 foot size that was required by the Homestead Act and is now listed on the Utah State Register of Historic Sites. The Swayze brothers knew every inch of Sinbad country, and even though they were themselves considered outlaws by many, Sid and Rod Swayze guided marshals in search of two young sheep herders who shot Sanpete County Sheriff Burns in 1894. The suspects escaped to this area of the East Desert, and in McCarty Canyon northwest of here, they engaged in a shootout with the marshals, only to escape and live out their lives in obscurity elsewhere. A few hundred yards from the cabin is Swayze Spring, which provided water for the family, and a cool cave known as the Ice Box, where the Swayzes stored their meat and other food. Finally, we're going to stop and check out the Lone Warrior, another example of ancient native rock art nearby Swayze Cabin. It's less intricate than the panels of Locomotive Point, but no less impressive. It's hard to imagine that these artists' pigments have survived for thousands of years. So I'm going to put a link down in the video description to this camping area on thedirt.com. The Dirt is Grand Adventure's travel season sponsor this year, and they've got an extra special offer for our Grand Adventurers. The Dirt Pro is an annual membership version of the site instead of the free version that everybody has access to, but it adds some extra special features, including offline use with your mobile app, public land layers so you can see where it's legal to boondock just like this, trip routing, discounts off campgrounds and outdoor gear, and more. It normally costs $39.95 per year. However, our Grand Adventurers get a 90-day period to try it out for free just by using the promo code GrandAdventure90. I'll put a link in the video description down below so you can go check out thedirt.com for yourself, and I'll put the promo code in there so you can try it yourself for literally half the camping season. So we hope that you've enjoyed coming along on this episode of Grand Adventure. We publish new outdoor adventure RV travel videos each and every Wednesday. So if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, this is the perfect time to go smash that little red subscribe button, the one right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Then ring that notification bell to be sure that you come along on each and every Grand Adventure. Now, we'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. But please understand that it's extremely important to us that if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, we would love to hear from you in the comments section. So until next week, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.